So what am I supposed to do, right?
So to my Dixie wrecked again. That's not even a good example. Storm is actually generally faster than Infect right now.
Yeah, if Storm can go off turn 3 consistently, I think.
Storm can go off turn 2, and so can Infect with a disgusting hand. But Storm can go off turn 2, and
Storm can?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and interestingly, Storm is basically a turn 3 deck all the time. If you resolve a 2-drop creature, Storm is basically going off turn 3.
Yeah.
Infect, it's in no way a given that you go off on turn 3.
For sure.
You know, if you don't have a Hierarch or a Glistener Elf, if your first play is Blighted Agent, your first creature is Blighted Agent or Inkmoth Nexus, there's almost no way you kill your opponent on turn 3. Whereas Storm reliably gets there on turn 3. It's actually kind of disgusting. But Storm is a faster deck than Infect. But no, I still don't take your meaning. That's a false equivalence you present. It's not true. The way I'm using the word punished is not the same way you've used it in your counter example there.
So Lucas has Empty the Warrens main board.
Yeah, I think most people do that now because you have to fight things like main board Meddling Mage.
Dude, I guess.
No, for real. I mean, once it became humans warped the meta pretty seriously.
Lucas just put Opt at the bottom of his deck.
Yeah, can't do that. He opted to put it on the bottom instead of the graveyard.
No. The actual Opt card.
That's the Opt on the bottom?
Yeah, that's Opt.
Okay, yeah. Good catch, Brent.
Hey, I got eyes of an
There was some
dude.
serious confusion.
Oh, yeah. No, I got him on lock. I'll be right back. I'm going to go yell at him.
Okay, turn 2 Bob. Very pretty. Look how foiled that thing is.
I like the Skrillex better.
Brent, did you know that when you pay $170 for your Dark Confidant,
am I going to get mad?
That it always flips lands?
I would hope so.
Yeah, always.
All right, you want to bet money real quick?
That it flips. Okay.
The first card.
If it flips a land on this draw and on this untap,
yeah.
If it flips a land, you have to buy me that roll of cookies with your store credit.
Shake on it.
All right, and if it's not a land,
anything but a land.
If it's not a land, then you can still buy me those cookies.
I know I still can, but I'm not going to.
Okay. Ooh, is that a Petals of Insight?
Yeah.
Man, I haven't seen that card played since Teamer Scapeshift.
Lucas doesn't know how to play Storm, I feel. He's putting... I don't think he understands what a graveyard is. He's putting everything at the bottom of his deck.
Wait, did he do that again?
Yeah. Well, okay, so with a card that he just did, he was about to put them all in the graveyard.
Oh, with Petals?
Yeah, he doesn't understand which cards go to the graveyard, which ones don't.
A lot of confusing cards in these Storm decks.
No, it's not.
Piloting this deck is definitely something that you want to practice with.
Well, okay.
I'm not sure how practiced Lucas is with Storm, though. He plays Belcher in Legacy, so I think this is his style of deck.
Through depths.
Sort of the solid.
Whatever.
Oh, not a Petals of Insight. Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. Petals of Insight costs like I think like 5 mana.
That is not a land, right? That's a full art Blood Moon.
No, that was a land. Yep.
That was not a land.
You're not a land.
You're right. Oh! Thanks, Michael.
I knew it was the Huntmaster. I just wanted my cookies.
I couldn't tell.
All right, so
I know you want your cookies.
Yeah, Mike actually got that altered by Roman here at the store.
Yeah, he did Eric's Ad Nauseam and Angel's Grace.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That I destroyed you with.
Yeah, those things look cool.
Hell yeah, dude. And he's not like ridiculously priced like the other people you see on Facebook and stuff. It's ridiculous. Like, you see other people on Facebook, like $100 for one card. And I'm just like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I actually asked Roman the other day about just possibly doing some inking on white borders for me. And he's like, oh, yeah, I do that real cheap. And I'm like, oh, wow, that's sweet, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
So we've got...
Hey, there we go.
There's the land. Do I get my cookies now?
No,
okay.
We said first card. We can keep making bets all night until you get cookies.
So Lucas has a really awkward hand because he does not have any card draw. He only has mana producers.
But he's got that empty the war.
Sure, but Lucas's hand is essentially 4 mana producers, right? 2
Sure.
mana producing creatures, 2 rituals, and
Empty.
yeah. Now I guess what he could do, well, he can't even if he draws mana Morphos, he can make a bunch of goblins here, but I'm not sure it's enough to win.
Yeah, the other thing too is Lucas willing to risk Michael having Maelstrom Pulse?
Yeah.
I'm sure it's only a one of, right? Maelstrom Pulse?
Yeah, I think Mike's just playing one. The thing is, I think if you're Lucas here, you kind of have to start thinking about going for something soon, because soon your life total is going to get too low where you can't. I think he kind of has to. Well, I would give it one more turn, but you know, if Michael drops like a Liliana or something, drawing cards doesn't really help you.
Right, drawing cards is going to be impossible.
So the problem here is though that Lucas can only he can ritual and then he can ritual again. Oh geez, push the Mancer, so that ritual is just going to die. I don't think you
just fizzles.
Well, he gets it, but is he just going to empty the Warrens for like? Oh, he drew the Manamorphose, so he can actually play Baral now. I didn't know he drew Manamorphose. That's actually a big deal.
Not really, because.
Well, yeah, now he can play. He can go Baral. Did he make blue mana with?
No. I have no idea.
He didn't make blue mana
with. I don't think so. I think he's just
like
cast.
Yeah, if he would have made blue mana. Okay, so he does have a blue mana. So if you put down Baral, then you can cast Ritual and empty the Warrens, and that will give you 10 that'll give you 12 goblins.
I think the storm counter is higher than that. Yeah. Goblin into.
Oh, well, and the Fatal Push was cast too.
Yeah, but that doesn't help his storm count.
Doesn't Fatal Push? I'm really not good at Magic and don't know many.
No, because it's only cards that you play.
I thought Storm was any spell cast before it this turn.
Huh. Wow, we are really bad at this. Storm, when you.
Yeah, so I think he can make as many as like
for each spell.
Can he make like 14 or 16 goblins here?
So it is. So yeah, push would help.
Wait, why did he not cast? Why did he not cast Baral? And then empty his hand. Am I missing something?
I don't think so.
Shouldn't he have cast Baral and then cast the other ritual in his hand and then cast empty? And he would have had, because this amount of goblins is not quite lethal.
Okay, command.
That's actually pretty good for Lucas though, because that amount of life. Ooh, well, Huntmaster's really good here. Yeah, I forgot he drew that earlier.
We made a bet on it.
Yeah. Yeah, Huntmaster is insane against this token plan. I'm not sure if Lucas... Well, but Mike's going to have to kill his own Bob, I think.
Yeah, I would say so.
Because or else Bob will kill him. I think you swing out with all of them here. Because you can't...
There's no real reason not to.
Well, actually, you could die on the swing back if you take 2 damage from Huntmaster, right? If Goyf is a 4/5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No. Yeah, you swing with all of them. Get in there. Well, actually, then you could lose to Lightning Bolt. I don't know. I don't know. Swing with all but one. I don't know. If Mike... Yeah, so he blocks with a Bob.
Maelstrom Pulse. I think Michael would be feeling really... I think he would have just slammed down that Maelstrom Pulse.
All right.
So if Michael just passes turn, does Huntmaster flip?
Yeah, but then he just loses.
Well, he would be able to clear some tokens, and he would.
Yeah, but he's at two.
okay,
He's
yeah,
at
no.
2 now from that last
No,
swap.
no, it's good.
I think if Mike had another Huntmaster, he would be close, but I don't even think that would get him there.
No.
Because he would only have.
Let's see.
He'd be at 4
Still
life
10
and then
tokens.
yeah 5 blockers. So yeah, even second Huntmaster doesn't quite get you there.
Almost.
Um,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah.
yeah, I guess I'm surprised though. Lucas, Lucas could have made way more than enough tokens. He almost gave Mike the shot to. Am I missing something? I mean, I definitely think Lucas could have just played the Brawl out on the Storm turn, played Ritual out of hand, and then gotten 4 more Goblins that way.
It would only been 2 more because.
No, because you play Brawl and the Ritual.
Why didn't he play that last Ritual then?
I don't know. I think you just hold. I don't know.
Are we missing something?
I don't know.
I don't play Storm.
Either way, whatever. 12 Goblins was enough to get there. So.
14.
Was it 14?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Because Mike blocked 4.
How did he only have enough mana to cast Empty the Warrens? He had a bunch of mana. He played like 4.
Well, yeah, because if the Brawl would have come down, he would have made the Ritual cost 2.
Right.
He would have had I think 5 red floating, but Empty would have only cost 3 anyway. So with the Brawl in play. But maybe Lucas just knew that was enough Goblins to get there, barring like something ridiculous like not flipping Colligan's command and having double Huntmaster or something. Maybe Lucas knew that he wanted to be able to rebuild through a Maelstrom Pulse, but he also knew that there were enough tokens in play to get the job done, barring something ridiculous.
But how are you going to rebuild when you only have a Ritual in hand? You'd have to get some pretty lucky draws.
Well, he left Brawl Ritual in hand.
Yeah, but what's that? That ain't gonna do anything. You only get the effect when you counter a spell.
Well, if you have Brawl Ritual in hand, you can rebuild pretty easily with just like a top deck Manamorphose or top deck Past in Flames.
Yeah, but what's the likelihood? Right?
I guess I think Lucas played it fine there. So sideboarding, he could have had more Goblins. That's true. More Goblins is always the goal.
Yep.
So what does Mike's sideboard plan look like? I don't think he has any more. He could have Duress, but I doubt he has more hand hate. I think what you need is you need Nile Spellbomb. I don't think Mike is playing Surgical, because I think Surgical is not.
Wait, we can actually look on the top deck website.
Oh, that's right. I don't think Surgical is good in Jund. But I think Mike has Nile Spellbomb. He probably has. He probably has a board wipe that he will bring in, just to snuff the empty plan.
Who, Farrell?
Yeah, Farrell might have.
I mean,
he could have Kozilek's Return or Flaying Tendrils, or I don't think Damnation is good because it's too expensive and you wipe your own guys doing that. But he might have some kind of low to the ground and or one-sided board wipe. Bonfire is a sweet one against Empty the Warrens. You just if you can just hardcast it for 3 mana, deal the damage to him, and wipe the goblins.
You're right.
And if you miracle it, you can just kill him.
Jund. All right. Let's see what he's got sideboard. Come on, load.
I think he's got 2 spell bombs.
That's not enough. Throw like 6 in there.
Yeah, I'd play 6 spell bombs. That seems good.
All right, sideboard: 4 Fulminator Mage, 2 Kitchen Finks, 2 Collective Brutalities. Those are coming in.
Yeah, definitely want Collective Brutality.
1 Damnation, 1 Ancient Grudge, 1 Kozilek's Return.
Do you think you bring in Kitchen Finks just because it's okay against Empty?
No.
Does he have worse cards to take out? Probably not. He probably values his bolts and every single other.
Oh, he's got 2 Maelstrom Pulse main board.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
what would I take out? Cake Man, probably?
Yeah, well...
No, it's because of the discard.
Cake Man discard plus killing a guy seems fine. But
Would
I think
you take out Lightning Bolt?
No, because Lightning Bolt killing a guy and then also going to face, I think, seems good.
Yeah, but Storm only has so many creatures. You can't keep 3 Terminates, 2 Bolts, 3 Pushes, 2 Abrupt Decays.
Do you think you take out Bob? That can't be right.
No, because you're going to be wanting to get all kinds of...
Folks, tell us in chat what you think Mike takes out to bring in his spell bombs and his Collective Brutality. I think you could take out Terminate.
I I would say take out the 3 Terminates.
Oh, we've got the Graph Digger's Cage. That's pretty good.
That's
if,
okay.
if Lucas did not prepare for the Graph Digger's Cage, that is bad news.
That's a 1 of in his sideboard.
Yeah, feels good.
Luck. What a lucker.
Yeah, I wonder if Mike doesn't want Terminate because he knows he can kill the guys with push and
Yeah, I would take out
push
the
and
Terminates,
bolt.
honestly.
Does Mike have a Abrupt Decay in the main?
2.
Maybe you take out Abrupt Decay and Terminate.
I don't think so.
It's just hoping you kill their guys with the brutality and the bolts and the push.
Well, he's not going to be able to kill Brawl with them because it's a 1/3, isn't it?
With
Brawl.
Oh yeah, you can't kill Baral with brutality. Yeah.
So I would.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll. I'm curious to see if we see a Terminate in this match. I don't know.
I just feel like that's way too much creature hate for an 8 creature card.
Yeah, that's what I think too. My guess is Terminate came out, but I don't know. I think we can go ahead and call this game for Mike.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good.
Cage plus Goyf plus Skoos.
And bolted his
Seems
Baral
pretty
already.
good.
Swag.
So the one way that a Storm deck can come back from this is if they had preemptively boarded out the graveyard plan. Like if they were on Past in Flames, Gifts Ungiven, if they boarded all those out for like pieces of the puzzle, you can potentially just from hand, no graveyard shenanigans, do enough, cast enough spells to have a good grape shot or a good empty the Warrens.
Right.
But it's not easy. And I don't think Lucas is on that plan.
I don't think Lucas knows what plan he's on.
I think he knows what he's doing.
He is relatively new to the
I don't
deck.
think he was prepared for turn 2 Cage, turn 3 Skoos, or however that
Would
went.
any Storm player be ready for that? Let's talk. Let's.
Well, like I said, that's why people play Piece of the Puzzle, because you can.
What's Piece of the Puzzle do?
It's a 3 mana. Look at the top 5 cards. Put 2 instants or sorceries from among them into your hand, and the rest into the graveyard. So you use that to gain value instead of Gifts Ungiven and Past in Flames, and you just build up a hand that can win through graveyard hate.
Okay.
It's an okay plan. You kind of have to do it against decks like that have Rest in Peace.
So is Lucas able to go off with Graph Digger's Cage? Because I know the Past in Flames is a huge deal.
Yeah, like you can't go off in the same traditional sense, but you can still make 16 goblins.
I mean, I guess if he wants to go the Goblins route, but...
Oh, Lucas does have an Echoing Truth, so if he needed to, he could balance the Graph Digger's Cage on a crucial turn, but then he still has to contend with the Scavenging Ooze. He's going to Echoing Truth to Goyf. All right.
Oh, because otherwise Lucas would have died. Wait, just start blocking. What?
Well, I think he maybe needs these spells to cost 3 less. Right now, his spells like that Gifts Ungiven in his hand cost 1 mana. So maybe that's relevant. But Gifts Ungiven is no good against Graph Digger's Cage, Skoos.
Yeah,
I'm trying to.
It's pretty gross.
Maybe Lucas has some lines. I don't know.
Dude,
With 3 mana guys in play, your gifts pile could look really interesting here. Like, what if you got like another Echoing Truth?
Yeah, but Michael would just throw that in the graveyard.
Right, but you get something. You get a pile that looks like Echoing Truth, Vandal Blast, Past in Flames, Manamorphose, or something.
Yeah, but Farrell would just give him the Past in Flames because he can't do anything about it.
Well, you can set up a pile where your opponent automatically gets to take out the cage. If you have like Vandal Blast, Repeal, even like Noxious Revival,
but
put that in the gifts package.
Did Luke sideboard like that?
No idea. couldn't
That's
couldn't
the
tell
other
you.
question.
Oh, Lucas has mismatching Blood Moons just to make your opponent salt even more.
Seems pretty good.
We could see Lucas really go in the tank though on this pile.
You know Eric, right?
Eric Baldus?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Eric.
Yeah. So he built Death in Texas,
Okay.
and he got the white bordered plains.
I'm cool with that. That's his prerogative. Which planes? From what?
I don't know, just white bordered. Do you think, dude? I don't know sets. I've only been playing for a year. It's not like I was born and like, all right, let's play Magic.
Yeah,
fresh out the womb.
I actually devote most of my free time to memorizing and brushing up on my Magic icons. So
I'm an icon.
Got them all down pat for you.
I'm an icon.
An iconic master. Winky face.
Hell yeah, dude.
All right, so this
You keep
gift
winking
pile.
at me, I'll have to take you out for dinner.
Or you could just buy me those cookies, you know?
You'd have to do a lot of waking for that.
All right, so we have... God, I think Lucas values variety in his art. He's got both arts of Grape Shot. He's got all kinds of Blood Moons.
Which grape shot do you like better?
I like the new one.
Where he's like flicking the...
Yeah, but let me just say this, that you'll never see me cast a Grape Shot, so it doesn't really matter.
You're right, you'll never see me cast a grape shot.
I will say I don't like...
Hey, there we go.
This specific Grape Shot that we have right here, which I think is from a Kiora dual deck, I do not like this grape. I like the art, but not the icon or the modern card frame. I like the Modern Masters 1 Grape Shot that has this art, but with a Modern Masters emblem, and I believe it's uncommon. And then it's also got the pre-Frontier card frame. Oh, Grape Shot was actually a common in Modern Masters. How about that?
Yeah, it's also banned in Popper.
You're banned in Popper. Winky face.
Ark, stop.
Oh, and I was wrong. After I was touting my my knowledge of Magic set icons, that was actually not Kiora. Was it? Wait, was that Kiora dual deck? It's
You're asking the wrong dude.
It's Mine versus Might. I don't know if that's Kiora. I guess that wouldn't make sense, because who would be... Kiora's not Mind or Might, right?
I don't know. I hope you're having fun.
Oh, no, that's the one. Mine versus Might is Lavisa Cold Eyes versus Jorah the Gitu.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I remember that Mario and I actually opened a bunch of that. Not opened, but we opened one, and we played. I played Lavisa, and he played Jorah. The Jorah deck has a bunch of really interesting play to it. The Lavisa deck is just like, put your guys down and turn them sideways. But the Jorah deck is like substantially more powerful than the Lavisa Cold Eyes.
Right.
It's actually embarrassing. Like, you almost can't win. I don't know who balanced that set. But the Jorah, if your opponent is playing it well, it has all these sick like storm lines in it. Like it has the card Grape Shot. It's got a bunch of
okay. So Lucas is using Grape Shot to clear the board. Mike tried to Grape Shot the Skews, ate a Brawl to keep the Skews alive, and then Lucas is just like, all right, I'm just going to Grape Shot it again.
That seems good. But that doesn't. None of that seems good against.
Oh,
wow! Kill him with the brutality off the top. Oh, baby.
Oh, Farrell. That hand though was nasty.
Yeah. Yeah, Farrell was stuck on 3 lands, so he couldn't even activate Raging Ravine there because he didn't hit his 4th land. But yeah, brutality off the top seems fine. He had, yeah. So Mike had no black mana. He just had.
Did he not?
Yeah. That's what the problem is. He had Raging Ravine, like Forest Stomping Ground, or
Then
something.
how did he just cast the Collector Brutality?
You know what? Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Oh no, he didn't have double black. That's why he had a bunch of lilies in hand. Maybe.
Man, how do you get to commentate every Friday when you don't even pay attention?
I don't pay any attention.
I'm the one that caught Lucas trying to put Opt at the bottom
put
of
the
his
Opt
deck.
on the bottom of his graveyard.
And you're just like, oh man, he did.
If you didn't catch that, I think that would have gone on for a long time.
No, our.
Oh, Mike drew a land there. Okay, he had brutality in hand. He drew a land. Thank you. Oh, that's Adam. Wait, is that actually Adam Olds, or is that someone pretending to be Adam Olds? You never know with with such a character, such a force in the Magic community. You know, will people? Is that someone simply impersonating Adam Olds, or is that the real deal?
Nope, it's me. So anyway, my Dixie Wrecked is saying Baral is legendary, illegal game state. He didn't have 2 Barals, he had 2 Goblins. Or did you not catch that either, Mark?
I knew he had 2 goblins and 1 Baral. Did he play a second Baral out after that?
I didn't see one. I don't believe so.
Yeah, I believe he had 2 goblins and 1 Baral. I never saw him play a second Baral. But then again, as we've been over, I am not the most attentive watcher of Magic.
Oh, he did have... Oh, no, he had a second one. Oh, well. Whatever, game 3.
Look at Victor here.
No.
With his puffy coat.
Nope.
And his beanie cap.
Nope.
Do we think Victor won round 2? He's playing Grixis Death Shadow.
That face is telling me no. Who'd he play against? What did he play against?
No idea. Oh, wait. He played against Jason Morgan round 1.
Yeah.
I think they played the mirror. So two great players playing that one. You could never know who came out on top. But I have no idea who Victor played in round 2. But you're right. His face, he looks kind of upset.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit forlorn.
Probably 0-2. About to go hit up the bar, right?
Probably 0-2, yeah. 0-2 vape and drop.
Vape Nash?
Vape Nash.
Vape Nash, bro.
I have a long story about regulatory affairs on the vaping industry in Indiana.
When did you move here in Ohio?
About 5 years ago.
Oh. What? Vaping's been out that long?
Well, it's happening in Indiana right now. I still follow Indiana news, but anyway, the gist of it is the people in the vaping industry, a bunch of suppliers in Indiana are all upset that new regulations in Indiana have caused vendors of vaping products to have special markings and labels and warnings on the products, and they have to be distributed in a certain way. And basically, vape companies have to purchase they have to purchase specific licenses, and they have to go out of their way to get certification through security firms who do this official vetting and branding and tailoring of the boxes and all this complicated stuff to actually get their vape products onto stores' shelves. And anyway, the problem is that there's only one licensed security firm to do that work. The state legislature only allowed one firm to do all that, and this firm said, we are not going to allow we're not allowed, but we're not going to take on that many clients. All the people who want to sell vape products in Indiana cannot do so because the one security firm in Indiana that can certify vape products to be put on shelves.
It's just nah, that's too much.
Well, they basically said we don't have the capacity to take on all of you as clients.
Why would they do that? It's just vape.
Well, there are other. What do you mean?
It's just like buying a pack of cigarettes.
Well, right, but all of those, cigarettes, for example, all those, the packaging and all, there are really careful regulations about how you can get a tobacco product onto a shelf, and none of that infrastructure exists yet for vaping products, and so that's why it's a problem that there's only one security firm doing this certification work for vape products in Indiana for Indiana sellers.
Okay.
But a lot of people think that there's a corruption thing involved where, the legislature only, they allowed this one security firm that's the only one certified, and they get all the contracts for it. And
they think it's some kind of shady stuff going on.
It's kind of fraught, but I don't think it's actually true. I think that's just
somebody would go out of their way that hard with vaping products. Now, magic, sure, but vaping, nah. I don't think so.
You think magic is a bigger industry than vaping? That might be true. I don't know.
Ooh. Actually, no. I heard that Magic lost a very big chunk of players in the last, 2 years.
Yeah, I heard something about that on Alpha
they
Investments.
Lost 4. Yeah, that's where I heard it too.
I don't think that's actually true.
I don't know why it wouldn't be true. Why would he lie about that?
Okay, well, he.
Or am I just that naive to believe anything I read on the internet?
Well, it's not Rudy from Alpha Investments lying about that. It's him just not knowing. I think he abstracted that number from something like Mark Rosewater tweeted, but I don't think that's actually correct. But I have no idea.
I would believe it.
So
with how expensive the cards are and stuff. Cards are expensive. Tell me I'm wrong.
They are expensive. So Mike seems to be in a pretty commanding position again with this Liliana and this Grafdigger's Cage on board, and I don't think that Lucas has sided into a non-graveyard plan. Did you say that Mike only has one of these cages in his sideboard?
One.
I wonder if there are more. So Blood Moon, we're gonna double fetch, get a forest and a swamp. Yeah, I wonder if Michael's playing more than one cage today.
Am I?
I think Lucas had 2 brawls in play at the end because did he have another one in hand that he just threw down when he conceded?
Probably.
Maybe he had another one in play. I don't know.
Doesn't matter. Luke knew he lost, so.
Oh, Farrell actually got 2 swamps. Interesting.
That is very interesting.
Like,
why wouldn't he get at least a? Why would he put his?
Oh, his forest is in the graveyard.
Why would he do that?
Yeah, he discarded it to Lily. Wow, that's super awkward.
Yeah.
That means Mike has to
All
find.
right, let's see how many forest he runs.
Mike has to find a threat that's in black, or he has to. Actually, because Mike can't even. He can't abrupticate this Blood Moon.
Yeah, he's got 1 forest.
And you can't exactly win the game. Like, you can't win the game with Liliana by herself, which means Mike will have to.
Mike's just gonna play with
Well,
Bob beats.
Yeah, he's gonna have to get Bob to beats for 20 life.
Hey, that's a clock.
Does Mike have a threat that he? Well, he might have Rabble Master.
I'm sure he does have Rebel Master and Mom and Pa.
I don't think he has Mom and Pop, but he probably
Do you
has.
want me to look at the list again? Because I know I just saw it.
Is it in the main board?
P and Karen. Yeah.
Huh.
One of. Boom.
Yeah. So does he have Rabble Master too?
Yes, I think 2 of them. Yep.
God, that's like super unfortunate. Well, it's not unfortunate. I guess Mike should have. Do you chalk that up to a misplay, discarding your forest?
I would say so, because you should expect Storm having.
Sure, but it's like how many levels do you have to be on to like consciously withhold your forest there?
Well, seeing as Storm does have Blood Moon in sideboard quite often, I'm really kind of disappointed in Farrell for not playing around that. Right? Or am I just a dick?
I mean, I think it is. I think it is reasonable to play around the Blood Moon. I just don't know if it's reasonable not to discard the forest. I don't know what his other options were when he was weighing whether or not to discard that forest. But yeah, he can't. I mean, he can't answer Blood Moon with just black mana. Interestingly, there's actually no black or red spells that even deal with an enchantment. The only one I can think of is like Chaos Warp or Capricious Efreet. But yeah, black-red does not have enchantment removal. So Mike has to win with Rabble Master, Pia and Kira, Dark Confidant beats, or I suppose if Mike had an Ob Nixilis, he could still. Does he have an Ob Nixilis in there?
Pretty sure.
On that list?
No.
He could win with an Ob Nixilis.
But he doesn't have one.
No. This is pretty funny.
This is gonna be one hell of a game.
You know, Grix's Death Shadow sometimes ends up in similar positions against Blood Moon, because, like, sometimes you Thought Scour away your basics. But this is even...
and that's why I couldn't play Grix's Shadow anymore.
Yeah. But this is even worse than that. I mean, Mike made the conscious choice to discard that forest. Oh, baby.
I mean, Thought Scour, get rid of your basics, draw a card. I think it's really, really bad. Yeah, discard. Discard a card.
So somebody in chat said he can Lily ultimate the moon and yeah, make your opponent choose between moon and lands. But I don't know if I mean that doesn't does Lily round up on permanents? Like if
no, you get to make 2 piles. It doesn't have to be equal. So he can totally do Blood Moon and then his 3 lands.
Oh right. So
I remember my
right,
first time playing Magic.
Lily can never force someone to remove a permanent, right? Because he can always just choose the pile that has Blood Moon in it.
Yeah, I mean Lucas can choose Blood Moon.
Right,
I'm just saying
that
why he would.
Let's say Michael were to ult this Liliana multiple times in the next 15 turns or so. He still couldn't get rid of the Blood Moon that way if Lucas didn't want him to. All right, so Mike has a draw.
He's like, do I want this in the graveyard right now?
What is it?
probably one of the 60 cards in his
So
deck.
Lucas is thinking hard. I'm not sure Lucas's choice, Matt. Okay, Lucas discards Past in Flames.
Yep.
He has a Baral, but playing out these creatures just means that
Yeah.
Mike minuses Liliana.
Yeah. Lily's at such a good spot right now where it's like you just got to go off.
Victor,
Don't
are you,
even
so,
play.
so resident Magic player Victor Kurz is back here with us. Victor, did you see that Mike discarded his forest with Liliana? Yeah, this is pretty funny.
Seems good.
Wait, he forgot? Folks, this just in. Mike forgot to bring in his Rabble Masters. Meaning his only out may be Bob Beats and Mom and Pop. Does he have Mom and Pop in the 70 or in the 60 right now?
I saw on his sideboard was a Cletus and
Blood Moon number 2, okay. But so Liliana cannot get rid of a Blood Moon ever, as long as Lucas chooses to keep them around. Bob can definitely get there, but
He's got to draw it.
can Bob even get there on a time scale that doesn't kill you to your Bobs? I mean, you have to hammer through 20 life. The only way I think Bob could get there would be if Mike
Just drew
accumulated.
lands.
He would have to accumulate 2 Bobs in hand, play them out simultaneously.
Oh,
What is this?
he ulted Lily.
Oh, and Lucas
got rid of the Blood Moons.
Man, I wonder if Lucas.
Whew.
I wonder if Lucas didn't fully weigh the gravity of that decision.
Yeah, I think
When your opponent has Cage and Lily in play, having lands isn't going to help you. You sort of need the Blood Moon there.
Yeah.
Now, Lucas also doesn't know that Mike doesn't have any threat options. That like maybe Lucas thinks that his opponent obviously has Rabble Master, but we know that Mike does not have Rabble Master. So I would have, if I were Lucas, I probably would have just kept the Blood Moons. Or kept a Blood Moon. Because you can't beat this Skoos plus Lily plus Graph Diggers, can you?
No, there's no way.
Like Lucas almost did that last game just by grape shotting out of hand to wipe Michael's board, but I don't think that. Well, maybe one out Lucas has is to just draw a 3rd Blood Moon.
Not at this point. There's another Skoos. So Lucas has got to get another. Okay.
Yeah, I think if Lucas chooses just to keep Blood Moons there, he can conceivably win the game. Though, well, what makes winning the game difficult from that spot is that Lucas will probably have his deck be milled first, right? Because
Yeah, Lucas would have lost from getting decked first. Unless he just never played any of his cantrips.
Yeah, I think he played at least some number. So without Mike playing Bobs to catch up, yeah, Lucas probably loses the mill race first. Well, that was all very interesting.
That was a game.
For the parts I paid attention to, that was very strange. I wonder if Mike will think twice before he discards another basic forest to his Liliana against the Blood Moon deck.
I bet he'll never do it again.
I wouldn't. I mean, I really wonder what his choices were when he did that.
One.
Interesting.
Dumbass.
Very interesting. So we will be back for round 3.
Yep.
Oh, interesting comment from Adam Olds, who may or may not be Adam Olds.
He says it's the real him.
Yeah, but that's what the fake Adam Olds would say, right?
You're right.
Adam Olds says that experienced Storm players don't like playing Blood Moon. Yeah, I don't play any Storms, so I'm going to take Adam Olds' word for it.
Sure. Real or fake.
Real or fake, yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
Even the fake Adam Olds must have good advice, you know?
I don't take any advice from Storm players.
You don't take advice from Storm players?
Storm's a dumb deck.
So you think Storm's a dumb deck, but you love Cheerios.
No.
Oh, I thought you said earlier that you just love Cheerios. And I was somewhat confused by that.
No.
No?
No.
You were very excited to see it on camera.
No, I wasn't. No, I was excited to see Teddy on camera.
Oh, okay. I got you. I got you. Well, anyway, folks, let us know in chat if there are any matchups or decks you'd like to see. We can't choose the matchups, obviously, but we can pick the decks. We've got Storm here tonight in Cheerios, as you saw. We've got
we're done.
Jeskai. We've got blue-green fish. We got regular old fish. We got Jund and Elves.
If that's a mirror, if we get that mirror.
The mono blue fish versus the blue-green fish.
All right, man.
That could be cool. Who do you think wins that matchup?
Probably blue, mono blue.
My guess is that, well, it depends on if the mono blue player has master waves, I think it's favorable for them. But the green cards actually seem pretty good in that mirror matchup,
yeah,
right?
But I just think mono blue.
Like
would be faster.
the 1-mana 3/3 is as fast as you can, or the 1-mana 2/2 is as fast as you can get. And most people agree that the best card in Merfolk is Silvergill Adept, and the green variant gets to play Silvergill Adepts, 5 through 7 or 5 through 8 with that new guy that explores.
Yeah.
But then again, your mana's also worse. You have to take more damage from it. Have we talked about that? One cool thing I've seen Merfolk players do with blue-green is cut all 4 Aether Vials and just play Noble Hierarchs.
Really?
How you feel about that?
That feels awkward.
Helps fix your colors. Helps you put on the fastest clock possible.
But you only get the Exalted trigger when you attack with 1. And fish want to go wide, right?
So it gives you the fastest. So turn 1 Aether Vial gives you a faster clock.
Sure.
When it catches up on like turns 4 and 5 from the excess mana usage. But for 1, Merfolk can kind of already do that with any number of Marrow Regery to untap your lands.
Right.
You don't need a Vial to go off and swarm. And Hierarch is a turn 1 play that gets you on the board and mana ramps you so you can play. You could play like a Mirror Regery on turn 2.
Right.
And that almost ramps you just as hard as an Aether Vial across turns 3 through 5. So I think it probably requires a lot of math to find out if that's better than and I think it's also a meta call. I think probably the Vial is not so good against if there's a lot of Kolaghan's command decks running around because it's just an easy 2 for 1 for them.
I would say here at the store I think Aether Vial would be a better call.
Yeah, I think the Aether Vial is probably better in general. Also because the Aether Vial is a nice hedge against counter magic. But then again, you also have Cavern of Souls. So, but Aether Vial is also nice for the flash blowout plays. But the green-blue Merfolk deck is much less about flash blowout plays and much more about.
I'm just gonna throw my. I'm
gonna play
more
the
elves.
biggest, most tempo-oriented creatures I can. So, in some ways I like the Hierarch. In some ways I don't.
It's interesting.
You could also play 4 Vials and 4 Hierarchs, and that way you have even more turn 1 cards to Vial out.
My God.
But then you're cutting too many fish, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, unless you start cutting lands.
Sure.
But then that gets risky too because you have to have a green.
Fish. You're already playing like 20, right?
What lands?
Yeah, 20 or 21.
I would hope no more than 20.
Yeah. But if you're playing 4 Hierarchs, you could maybe go to 19 or 20. I don't know.
I'd go down to 18.
I don't think you can afford to play 18.
I think you can. If you're playing Hierarch?
Yeah, but if you don't have... So, if your Hierarch gets bolted, you've got a handful of 2-drops and even some 3-drops. It becomes really hard to cast
Not my fault.
If you don't have the Vial and you're only on 18 or 19, I don't know. Who knows? That's too much.
I mean, apparently Death Shadow decks are going down to 17 lands.
Yeah, but you have a bunch of cantrips in those decks.
Yeah, but you're lowering the chances of you actually getting any kind of blue source in your opening hand, right?
Yeah, but you have Street Wraith for 1. So
what if you don't get those either? What if you just straight up just see none of those? It's happened to me before, dude, and that's with 18 lands. Or 19 lands.
Yeah, I would be anxious about cutting too many lands from Merfolk, especially when you're playing.
I mean, how is it any different than Burn?
Well, Burn can close out the game with. Burn can easily double spell with
Right.
1 mana cards.
Sure.
And Merfolk, casting, you do have a lot of 1-drops now with the new green guy.
Yeah.
But your most impactful double spell turns are 2-drops and even 3-drops with Reachery. Like.
Yeah, but it. I don't know.
Brenda's very pensive.
I don't know, dude.
Brent's in the tank about this one. Folks, let us know in chat if you think that Noble Hierarch is good in blue-green Merfolk, or if you just think that blue-green Merfolk shouldn't be played. I'm actually in the camp that